So I'm sitting here thinking about the fact that... Oh, I'm sorry. That was actually my stomach. Yeah, I think I'm a little hungry. Hey everybody, Anthony here. Welcome back to another episode of the Single Parents Podcast. This is the podcast for anybody whose life may have turned out a little less than traditional. Glad to have you with us for another episode. Before we get into that good, just make sure, if you'd be so kind, maybe perhaps considering doing a few things for me. The first thing that you could do, again, if you'd like to be so kind to do so, is share the podcast. Share the podcast with the friend, with the family member, with the waitress at your local restaurant. And let's just make sure we build the community. We do all the things we need to do to spread the show around so we can keep getting more voices and perspectives and all that sort of awesome stuff in here. So that would be great. The next thing that you can do for yourself is just to make sure that you are subscribed to the show on your favorite podcast hosting platform. Make sure that you've ring the bells, do all the things so you never miss an episode in the future. And then last but not least, maybe consider rating the podcast 5 out of 5 stars, highest rating possible on said favorite podcast hosting platform. That way it tells the algorithms out there that the show is legit, and it considers passing it along to some more people. Sorry if it seems like I'm like rushing and speeding through that whole intro. I just did not know until I sat down to record how hungry I was. Because it's a beautiful day. I'm recording this on a Saturday. My girls are off at their mom's house living their best life. I think they're going to like a Renaissance fair or something like that. And so this morning I woke up, took my boy Zeus the dog on a walk, came home, did some cleaning, prepped for the show today, and I guess I just didn't really have much time to grab some grub, hence my stomach growling, and hence I'm not hangry. I think I'm like on the edge, you know, that thin line between hungry and hangry. I think I'm getting kind of close, so I should probably eat something soon. But again, it's a Saturday. I really don't want to go in my fridge and eat the same stuff I've been munching on all week. I kind of want to go out and about and get out there and enjoy something tasty out on the town. But the thing is, I was just thinking this before I hit record, actually, is the fact that I think this is just one of those rare weekends where everybody who I usually hang out with or would ask to go get some food with, go get some dinner with, is just like busy or out of town, or it seems like nobody's like available, right? So Tawny, friend of the show who should be back on hopefully next week for an episode, she's out of town. A few of my boys are out of town. I know some people who aren't out of town are busy because there's a lot of stuff going on around town this weekend. It's just, I don't even have my phone. It's way over there, but it's pointless because I know that I don't think I can find anybody really to go get some food with right now. Okay, so that's not true. All right. So I got to slow down for some context. Like maybe I'm being a little over dramatic. I'm sure I could go through my friends list and find somebody who wants to go get some dinner. I just to avoid the comments and the emails from my friends who might listen to this and be like, Anthony, you didn't even try asking me to go out with you. What are you talking about? I would have went with you, blah, 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 blah. I'm sure I do have friends like that, and I know I have friends who would respond to that. But keeping in mind the theme for this season of the show, right? Which, in case you're new, just joining, or in case you just forgot, the theme for fall 2024 Single Parents Podcast is why not? We're in our why not era, right? So the whole thing about it is that we're just saying, hey, why not do some things we've never done? Why not take some chances? Why not say some things we need to say? Why not be the people we need to be? Why not just step into some of that new that we know we need to make happen? So we talked about that several times this season, right? This is like episode 4 of the season, and we've already gotten into it a good amount. But I was just like, you know what? I think I've been doing a lot of yapping about this whole theme this season, but I think it's time I practice what I preach. So here's what I mean by that. I want to go get food. I'm hungry. I'm almost hangry. I want to go out. I don't want to eat something in my kitchen. So I think it's going to be about time for me to try doing something I've honestly never done before. And that's taking myself out to dinner and eating alone at a restaurant. Yeah. I've never done it. Never done. I'm not just, this isn't a bit for the sake of the episode. Like, I legit thought about this and I was like, no, I don't think that's something I've ever done. Like, I've maybe gotten coffee and sat and did something while I got coffee or worked. I mean, that's kind of easy, right? Maybe I don't, but like the thought of going to an actual restaurant, not even like a fast food place, getting something on your lunch break real quick, but an actual restaurant with waitresses, and they bring you the water and you order off a big menu and you kind of just have to sit there until they bring your food and then they bring the bill. That type of sit down restaurant, I don't think I've actually intentionally, purposefully have said, I'm just going to go eat at a restaurant by myself, enjoy my company, and essentially like take myself out on a date, right? Don't think I've ever done that. So I think this might be the perfect opportunity where, again, a lot of my friends are busy this weekend or out of town, but I want to go out and enjoy some food, to ask myself, why not? And to go take myself out to a restaurant to eat alone. I think it's time to do it. I'm kind of nervous, to be honest, because I don't know, just something about the idea of going to a restaurant and eating alone is just, I don't know, awkward. Or I know a lot of people do it. I know people personally who do it all the time. So I don't want to say it's weird, but for me, I always associate eating alone at restaurants with like the elderly people who I'll see eating by themselves, sipping on their soup, chewing their bread by themselves like an old man or something. And then I always look over and see him sitting there doing his thing. And then I just build this backstory up in my head of like he had a wife for 50 years and they used to come to this restaurant every weekend and have lunch together, and they would talk about their lives and their kids and the week. But she maybe has just recently passed, and so he doesn't want to let go of tradition. He doesn't want to let go of those memories. And so even though she can't physically be there with him anymore, he still goes to that restaurant and he's still there even though he's by himself. And I start like crying at the lunch table and all these things. That's what I associate, right? Eating alone at restaurants with. But I know it's not always like that. Again, people do it all the time. It's not that weird. Because to me, so I've never eaten at a restaurant alone before, but I have, and often go to the movies by myself, right? Like, to me, I don't know, this might be like a hot take I'll share with you guys. To me, it's almost more awkward sometimes going to the movies with another person than it is going by myself. You get what I mean? Because you're going to a movies and you can chit chat like before the movie, but for the most part, you're going there to sit and look at a screen, and proper etiquette would entail you're not supposed to be yapping during the movie anyways. And so having somebody there, I guess it just depends on who you're with. But to me, I always just feel like I need to acknowledge that they're there at least a couple of times through the movie. And I hate, gives me the most anxiety in the world, going and getting to like a movie like late or like right as it's starting. Like, I hate that. Like, I need to be there where they're doing the movie trivia still on the screen, people are still filing in, the lights are still on, so I have time to get comfy and know that I'm not going to miss anything. But oftentimes I'll try to meet up with people and go, and they're late, or they're doing this or doing that and got to get snacks and all this. So I just love, honestly, going to the movies by myself, allegedly smuggling in some tasty adult beverages and just kicking up my feet and just chilling, because I'm not there to talk a whole lot anyways. But I know there are people who would think that's weird, right? There's people out there who would think going to the movies is just as awkward and irregular as I think about going to restaurants alone. So it's all perspective, but that's just me. So all of that build up to say, though, I want to try it. I want to try taking myself on a date, eating at an actual restaurant by myself. I think I can do it. I think I can do it. I'm not ready to go yet. I'm really, especially for this context, I'm going to take you all with me, or you guys going to be on this journey with me. We're going to do this why not together. So not only am I about to go eat at a restaurant by myself, but I'm bringing podcast equipment and a camera, and I'm gonna look so weird and goofy. So I need to mentally prepare a little bit before going to do all that. Even though, like I said, I am really hungry. I think I still got a little bit of time left where I think I can be good before I actually step through the doors of the restaurant. And you know what? Just to up things a little more, since we're just going for it, I think the restaurant where I'm gonna go to eat by myself, I mean with you guys, but like to go eat physically by myself, there's this restaurant that I've only been to like once, right? And I went there on like a date with somebody who, of course, because it's me, things didn't end up working out with this person. But I've only been to that restaurant once on that date with a person things didn't work out with. And so now every time I drive past that restaurant, the only memories and association I have with that restaurant is with this person who, again, things didn't work out with. And so I kind of want to redeem some of those memories I have of that restaurant. I want to kind of change it so subconsciously I always don't have to think about this person every time I drive past this restaurant, whether I realize I'm doing it or not. So I think we're going to go to this restaurant. I'm going to eat alone at this restaurant. I'm going to order the exact same stuff I did today as I did on that date with that person, so that way I take back the story. I take back the narrative. I stand strong as a confident, bold, single dad who can go and do this by himself and be okay. So we're gonna go to that restaurant. I'm gonna take it back for myself. But again, I'm not quite ready yet. I think I need a little more encouragement. So I think we need to head to the internet. Okay, got my computer up here. We got the internet booted up. So I just want to kind of just see what the interwebs have to say about eating alone. Maybe there's some people out there who have some tips and tricks on how to do it and how to do it without looking like a complete dork. So let's see what old Google has. Okay, this is an article from looks like maybe a website or a blog called Travelista. I'll credit the article properly in the description of the podcast. But this says, The Subtle Art of Dining Alone and 7 Tips to Try It for the First Time. So I might not read everything in this article, but let's just see what the Travelista has to say. All right, number 1, pick a venue that you like. Have you walked past a restaurant recently that you like the look of? Or have you spotted a place on Instagram that looks utterly delicious and you're dying to try it out? Well, this might be your excuse. If you don't have anywhere particular on your short list, you could always go to an old favorite that feels familiar to you. If it's your first time dining solo, then maybe look for places with a relaxed atmosphere, friendly staff, and positive reviews. You could always pre-book and request to sit at the bar or a table that is window facing. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty good. I already know the restaurant I'm going to. Again, it's one I'm going to go take back for myself. But it's a Mexican restaurant, and I think they have a nice ambiance, nice atmosphere there from what I remember the one time I've actually eaten there. Number 2, confidence is key, says the Travelista. Remember that dining alone is an opportunity for self-care. I love that. Headspace and enjoying your own company. Think of this precious time as a treat to yourself. Enjoy what you came here to eat and try not to worry about what everyone else may or may not be thinking. They will be busy having their own experience anyway. I think that's so true. I often tell myself this. Is this show that I really, really loved. You might have heard of it. A little show called Schitt's Creek. Peak television, love that show. But in one of the episodes, one of the characters, David, he's trying to get his driver's license, so he has to take his driver's test, and he's all stressed out. He's in his head about it. Well, what is the person giving the test gonna think? Blah blah blah. And his sister Alexis says something pretty good to him. She basically says to him, like, you might be all in your head about you and being self-conscious and what is the other person gonna think, but the other person has their own life, that has their own crap going on. Most of the time you think everybody's looking at you, caring about you, but everybody's just caring about themselves, doing their own thing. So she was like, it's not like the person giving your driver's test doesn't care because it's their job, but most likely they don't care as much about you as you think that they care about you. So just relax. And then in the scene where David's actually taking his driver's test, they kind of play that out where the person giving the test starts talking about what's going on in their own life and plans for their own weekend, and kind of like helps him relax to be like, oh, like my sister was right. Like, people aren't always sitting around worried about what you're doing because we all have stuff going on. And so I think that's what the Travelista is saying as well. So when I go to the restaurant, I might think everybody's looking at me like, look at that weirdo dork eating by himself. But odds are they might not even notice me because they got their own business. Okay, this says, be mindful. Admittedly, I struggled to be mindful for more than a hot minute. But mindfulness is a good skill to develop, especially if you're an overthinker. Bringing your thoughts and attention to what flavors and textures of the food you're eating helps you to refocus your thoughts. You might just find that you eat a little slower as you're not rushing mouthfuls to finish a conversation. If you end up bringing a notebook or a journal with you, just write down a couple of questions to yourself to go back to whenever you're feeling consumed in your thoughts. Something like, how are you feeling now? What can you taste? What can you smell? This might all sound excessive, but it's a small exercise that will help you to disconnect from overthinking and how you look and allow yourself just to be present in the moment. That's huge. I think I never thought about that aspect of eating alone. I mean, because most of the time, obviously, I love to yap. I love to talk. I love good conversation. And so sometimes going out to eat isn't so much about the food. It's just about the time where we can sit across from one another or sit within a friend group and just talk and catch up and share stories. So the food is just kind of like the vehicle that gets us to having that type of conversation. But the fact that if I go eat alone, then I can actually slow down and not have to, cover my mouth because I'm chewing really quick because I want to finish this story as I took a bite of my pasta. But I can actually enjoy the food because I don't have to try to worry about finishing a conversation or answering questions or anything like that. All right, this next point says experiment. Eating solo gives you the freedom to explore different types of cuisine without having to consider someone else's choices. It also says down here that take advantage of this and try new dishes. This is your chance to be adventurous with your choices. This next point says, have a chat. Some of my favorite solo dining experiences have come out of having conversations with the staff. I've always said that small talk is the most awkward thing ever. But if you're up for a conversation, it could be a good idea to ask a staff member for recommendations. Not everyone will have time out of their day to stop and chat with you, but a minute or two of their time can help you to feel your confidence grow when it comes to approaching new people. All right, okay. And then lastly, the Travelista says, start small. I'm not saying that you need to dive headfirst into a solo 8-course fine dining experience. If you do, though, consider me very impressed. If you're new to dining solo, try and focus on the small things you can do to build your confidence. Maybe if you've never been out for coffee on your own, try a coffee and ask for a takeaway cup so you can sit in the solace of knowing that you can leave if you like. Or if you want to head out in the evening, find a pub with live music. That way you can enjoy just sitting, having a drink, and soaking in the tunes. There's no reason to engage with anyone or look around when you feel awkward when you're lost in the music. Once you've experienced your own company a few times, you might just be ready to take yourself to a restaurant. So if you're that person who is dying to take themselves out for their first solo dining date, just remember that growth comes from discomfort. Doing something that tests you helps you to adapt and change. By challenging your fears and stepping out into the world independently, you can experience self-discovery, confidence building, and most of all, create a closer relationship with yourself. As they say, the single most important relationship you can have in life is with yourself. So cherish it. Bon appetit. I like that. There's some good tips in there. All right. My confidence is starting to grow. My confidence is starting to build. But I am a millennial in 2024. And so I love the blog articles, love the written format. But I really need to get some advice from TikTok. Yeah, I think I need to watch a couple of TikTok videos about this. So let's see here. All right, this first video I'll share, and again, both of these creators I'm going to share, we'll credit them in the description below if you want to go check them out for yourselves. But this comes from an @Bridget_Flynn with 3 N's at the end on TikTok, and this is what she has to say about dining alone.
You have to get comfortable going to places alone and enjoying your own company. It is so peaceful and freeing. So here are 4 tips I put together to make you feel more comfortable next time you try it. Number 1, go somewhere that has a bar and sit at the bar. Something about sitting at the bar, being near the bartenders, other people sitting there, just makes it feel like you're less alone. And it's way less intimidating than getting your own table. Number 2, either know your drink order right away or be confident and ask the bartender, what do you recommend? So getting your order in right away just gives you an air of confidence. I also always bring a book and I whip it out right away. So immediately it's like, oh, this girl came here to read. She knows what she's doing. So just having like a prop, like a book, or even take your phone out, but I recommend not doing the phone. And the last one, if anyone looks at you, just smile back at them. Just give them a big smile. You're confident, you're comfortable, you went there by yourself, you're enjoying your own company. That is the coolest thing you can do. Now go take yourself on a date.
Good tips there. Good tips there. I actually just got a book in from Amazon not too long ago. Obviously, if you're watching the video version of this, still in its packaging. I haven't even opened it yet. It's like a psychology book. But this might be a good time to crack it open. I think that's a pretty good tip. I'll stash that away and bring that with me. Probably won't sit at the bar because, I'm not just eating alone. I'm podcasting for the show, so I don't want to bring all my gear and put it on the bar and be that crazy. So I probably will I'll try to get a booth. But I get where she's coming from. That's good. That's good. Thankfully, part of the meal that I'm going to redeem for myself includes a tasty margarita. So I'm excited to already have that planned out. All right, so good tips from Bridget. Good tips from Bridget. This next creator I want to share, her username is @Samantha B. Marie, again on TikTok, and here are her tips on dining solo.
This is how to feel comfortable eating alone at any restaurant you go to. So basically, order what you want, you guys. I would have never got these green beans if someone else was there, and they were amazing. Bring a book or something so that you can distract yourself, because honestly, I think the hardest part about eating alone is that you feel like people are judging you for eating alone. So if you have something to distract you, then you won't even be paying attention to those people, which I did catch a few eyes on me. That's what I was looking at. But at the end of the day, I had to realize that this is me enjoying food, that, sometimes you wait for people to go with you to places and you don't get to experience all of the incredible places. And so while I'm on vacation, I am not afraid to take these moments where I am alone and go out and try great food by myself. You guys, those green beans were so good. I quite literally ate the entire plate by myself. And I also enjoyed not 1, but 2 drinks, which also probably helped make it a little bit less awkward that I was sitting alone. But at the end of the day, being alone is such an incredible experience. If you can't sit by yourself and enjoy your own company, then something is definitely wrong. So I say go out, bring your favorite book, your favorite game, your favorite puzzle, anything to distract yourself, and go enjoy that restaurant you've been waiting for someone else to go with you to try, because it was incredible.
All right, so that's yet another creator who says to bring a book. So definitely don't want to forget that. Okay, and those green beans did look good. I think for my food, I think I'm getting enchiladas because that's my redemption meal. So I'm gonna have some delicious enchiladas. I'm gonna have a margarita, and I'm just gonna do what she just said. Is just enjoy my time with me. Enjoy me, because I was just thinking practically, I get my girls back from their mom tomorrow at the time of recording this episode, and then we got school, we got a whole bunch of stuff. It's like Spirit Week at their school, so I got to find a whole bunch of stuff for them to wear, and then gymnastics, and then blah, 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 blah. So I actually have this beautiful opportunity today to slow down, to just be with me, to be with my thoughts, to be with all of you, and just not get caught up in the crazy for a little bit. So, all right, I'm just yapping at this point, delaying the inevitable. I think we did some good research. We got some good tips. We talked about this enough. I think we just need to get in the car. We need to head to the restaurant, and we need to go in. So, transition to the car now. Okay, so I'm here in front of the restaurant. Doesn't look super busy. There's definitely cars here, definitely people in there. but it doesn't look too insane. So hopefully this won't be too awkward. Honestly, I just need to get in there and have that margarita, because once I have that margarita, I'm really not going to care. But yeah. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm gonna pack up all my stuff. We're gonna head inside the restaurant, and we're gonna see. I'm gonna try to get a booth that way I can set up all my stuff and be good. So let's go inside and see how this goes. I just want to get a table for one, please. Can I get like a booth or something? Yeah. Thank you. I made it. I'm at my table. It's not too crowded in here. There's a few people in different booths, like right across from me in this direction. And I think there is one lady who's like looking at me. But it's probably not so much the fact that I am eating alone. It's probably the fact that I'm talking into a microphone and a camera right now. So I guess I kind of get that. But yeah, look at these. I got the chips. I got the salsa. I got everything. I think I'm good to go. I'm ready for my enchilada and my margarita. It's kind of relaxing in here, you know. I'm right by the window. Traffic is just kind of flowing. I'm just kind of, here with my thoughts. I'm going to take into consideration some of those things I read through the articles and saw on the videos. I'm going to just try to be mindful and just do me, and not try to rush this. I got some time. I can chill. I can enjoy the salsa. Yeah, I just need to get my waiter over here so I can get that margarita going. Okay, my waiter just came and I put in my order for my margarita. Got a pomegranate margarita blended with salt. So I'm just waiting. I was ready to order my food too, but he just took my margarita order. And I'm kind of thankful for that because, again, I wanted to slow down and enjoy this experience. So I'm glad he didn't put in everything at once, and then I would get everything at once, and then I would eat it, and then I would be out of here. So we're just doing courses. Right now. We're all right. Wait, hold on. Oh my God. You gotta be kidding me right now. There's no way. Is that my ex? Oh my gosh. No. You gotta be freaking kidding me right now. No. Is it? Well, I gotta be subtle. No. Okay, no, we're good. No, it was not her. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine the one time I come to do this and she shows up? Whew, okay, my heart. I need that margarita now. Got salsa all over my shirt. I'm a mess, people. I'm a mess. Maybe I did need to do this because I just need to center myself. I need to calm down. All right, here comes my margarita. Hold on one sec. Okay, for you video viewers of the podcast, you get to see my margarita on screen. I'm spilling it a little bit, but ooh, that looks good and juicy. All right, let's do a little margarita ASMR on the mic. Wow, that's good. Oh man, that's good. Okay, that's helping me relax a little bit after my potential ex scare. It was not her, people. It was not her. That was a false alarm. We're good. That margarita's good. Trying not to get a brain freeze right now. Okay, so I'm gonna go enjoy my margarita. I don't want this whole thing to be me talking because the point is to spend some time with Anthony. Anthony needs some time with Anthony, so I'm gonna go spend my time with Anthony, and then once my food gets here, I'll check in and let you all know how it's going. But for right now, margarita time, baby. Oh yeah, that's good. All right, my food just got here. It's piping hot, so it's a good thing I can talk to you all because it is way too hot to eat right now, so I'll let that cool down for a minute. Okay, thankfully, the lady who was 100% looking at me the whole time I was sitting here, even when I wasn't like recording, I was just vibing. She was totally looking at me, but she's gone. She's left. It's good. That's helped me relax. That margarita definitely has helped me relax. Like I've noticed even like my body, I was tense the whole time I was sitting here, so I had to like just chill and let myself kind of even like lean back and get comfortable. And yeah, that margarita helped. I haven't really been drinking at all lately, like at all, and probably wouldn't have even got that. But I just wanted to recreate and take back the exact same meal that I had last time here, and that meal last time included that margarita. So, c'est la vie. But yeah, it's been nice just to chill and really just be in my thoughts. I'll get into some specifics once I leave the restaurant. I'll kind of do a wrap up here in the car in a few minutes. But just, thinking about my girls and how proud I am of them. They just did some cool stuff in their gymnastics class that I could talk to you all for an hour about. But no, I'm super proud of them, super proud of myself, just proud that I stepped out of my comfort zone and did this and am doing it. And everything else that I work so hard. I just, I don't think I often give myself enough credit because I don't slow down often enough to see all that I'm doing and all that I've overcome and all that I've succeeded in, because I'm always, running 100 miles an hour, putting out fires and just trying to keep up. So to be able to be forced to take a few minutes to slow down was nice. I forgot my book. Actually, all three of those sources that we checked out before we came here recommended bringing a book. I showed you I had one, forgot it, left it at home. Oops. I had my phone. I checked it a couple of times, but I mostly just wanted to sit and just check on Anthony, see how he's doing, hang out with him. He's awesome. He's cool. We love him. He's good company. And so it's been pretty nice. Okay, I'm going to eat. And then also, before I leave, I'm going to give my waiter good tip. I mean, obviously, we're going to tip regardless. Got to do that. But he has seen like my whole podcast camera setup. Obviously, it's like right there. But he hasn't asked me like, hey, what are you doing? What's going on? He just business as usual. Like, all right, I guess, he hasn't even made it a thing. So I've appreciated that because that's helped me, calm down a little bit and relax with this whole thing. The fact that he just really doesn't care. So we're going to tip him well. But first I got to eat because like I've been saying this whole episode, I'm hungry. And let's start munching. Oh, I am done with my food and I'm so full. I'm just polishing off the rest of this margarita. Got salt, margarita salt all over my hands, salsa all over my shirt. But I'm so satisfied. That was really nice. It was, I would say, lovely, actually. It's just, I'm glad I did that. I'm going to get ready to pay, and then I'll kind of share my final thoughts here in the car in a moment. But just right off the jump, I'm just thankful that I took the time to do that. Oh my gosh. I'm so full. I was starving like literally 15 minutes ago, and now I'm so full. How does the human body do that? Excuse me, I almost choked on the last bit of my margarita. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up and I'm gonna go before I die in this booth. Okay, all right, I'll see you in the car. Back in the car, and I can successfully, confidently say that I have now officially gone out to eat alone, solo, by myself, whatever word you want to throw in there. I did it, baby. It was nice. It was really nice. I think that's the word I'll use to sum up that whole experience. It was nice. Was a little awkward. Did I feel a little self-conscious? Yes, especially with that one lady staring me down for most of the time. Don't know what her beef was. Maybe she just thought I was handsome. Maybe she just thought I looked good. All right, so I'll just assume that. The Travelista was right about the whole idea of slowing down and enjoying the food, because as I mentioned, I ordered the exact same thing I got the last time I was here, but I definitely enjoyed the flavors, enjoyed just the overall experience and ambiance and culinary precision that went into the whole thing this time a lot more. Because, I mean, granted, last time I was there, I was on a date, so I was, not even focused on the food at all. I was just focused on not getting beans on my face and looking like a fool the whole time. But this time, it was nice just to slow down and actually focus on my meal and enjoy my meal. Even something as simple as, when you go to, Mexican restaurants, specifically, when they bring, the baskets of chips and salsa to give you to munch on right before you actually order all your stuff. I had that chip and salsa basket combo, and it was all for me. So I didn't have to worry about, let me not eat so many of these chips because I don't want to seem greedy and I got to share with the other person. And I know those bad boys all went to Papa here. So I got to add a little salt. I didn't have to ask permission first. Just even little stuff like that. It was a pretty nice experience. Some more stuff that I kind of thought about. I thought about the fact that I didn't realize this until I actually got in there because I was leading up to going in there, I was focused on, making the podcast and stuff like that. But I didn't realize that when I was sitting in there, I would be brought back to the memories of the last time I was there on that date. And the booth that I was sitting in was like right across from the booth where I had that date. And I wasn't so much sitting there thinking about the person or the date, because that was whatever. I don't really think about that part that much. But it mostly brought me back to just working through like the idea of failed relationships in general, because I guess that's kind of what I had been associating that restaurant with, was just another time where stuff just didn't work out, and I just had to like work through that bigger topic with myself and kind of talk to myself through that, because I didn't know. I honestly did not know walking in there I would be brought back to that psychological point. I guess I should have realized that, but again, I was not focusing on that part. And so it was nice just to sit with myself and to have a conversation with myself internally about the fact that, like, hey, things may not work out even relationally or career wise or personally and all these different things, but as I mentioned in the restaurant, I'm doing the best I can. I'm trying new things, meeting new people. I'm putting myself out there. And so just because my story at this restaurant the first time, it didn't end with somebody who, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with, or all these other things just didn't work out. That doesn't mean I'm a failure. Doesn't mean I'm not doing a good job. Doesn't mean I'm not who I'm supposed to be, where I'm supposed to be with the people in my life who are supposed to be there. It just means I just gotta keep trying and keep moving forward and keep doing the best I can. And that's what I'm going to do. And I hope that you all out there listening to this can take some of that advice I got from myself on the date with myself as well. So overall, Anthony, I would rate myself 10 out of 10 date experience. I would date myself in a heartbeat. Anthony, you're so good at, I killed that date. I'm definitely going to text myself back and ask for a second date, because that was peak, people. That was peak. But thank you to you all for technically going on this date with me as well. I appreciated being able to process a lot of that with you all. And I definitely want to hear your thoughts about this. Have you ever been out to eat like that by yourself? Have you ever just gone on a date with yourself in general? What does that look like for you? Let us know on all the socials, comment all the places, use the email, thesingleparentspodcast@gmail.com, and tell me about your self-dating stories. Definitely would like to hear those. And next episode, we're also going to do something we've never done before, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I think Tawny's going to be there. We're gonna have some fun next episode. We've gotten real the last few episodes. We've gotten so serious, I feel like, that we're going to have some more fun next time. It's going to be good. So make sure you're subscribed, stick around, do all the things. And I think that's going to be a wrap for this episode of the Single Parents Podcast. I'm going to go home and digest all that food I just had. Like, seriously, I only had a couple of enchiladas and a margarita. And I'm seriously so full. I don't know. I just need to go home and lay down. So I'm going to go do that. You all out there, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Single Parents Podcast. My name's Anthony, and until next time, you all out there, just stay beautiful. Bye.